Welcome to Living Simple and Well, the audio diary for the woman who's doing her best to live a meaningful life, one boundary, one deep breath, one messy day at a time. Hosted by a girl just getting by. This podcast is your safe space for raw conversations, real life lessons, and tiny shifts that make a big impact. From navigating complicated relationships and motherhood meltdowns to curating a soft, slow morning routine and showing up for your dreams. We're talking about it all, vulnerably, honestly, without the pressure to have it all figured out. Here, it's not about hustle culture or perfection. It's about coming home to yourself, simplifying the noise, and choosing to live well on your own terms. So pour your coffee, take a walk, or hide in your closet for some peace and quiet. You're safe here. Hey friend, welcome back to Living Simple and Well. I am a day late and $1 short here, but we are on video now. I made the decision to move Living Simple and Well to video format for multiple reasons, but one of which being I just feel like the conversations are so personal and are just all about connection and creating just a safe space. And I felt like the need for face-to-face was so strong. So if you're listening to this in audio, totally fine too. But if you are a video gal, here I am. I am so grateful that you're here. Whether you've been here since the first episode or this is your first time tuning in, I just want to say that this space is for you. The woman that's just doing her best, the one who's carrying a lot, the one who's craving something softer, slower, and more honest. I see you. And I hope every word today feels like a deep breath. Today's episode is one that's been sitting on my heart for a while because it's something so many of us go through, but we rarely talk about out loud. And that is how to know when it's time to let go of someone in your life. Before we get into the heavy stuff, I need to acknowledge that the fall season is upon us, and your girl is wearing a cozy sweater, and I definitely got the fall menu Starbucks today, and I tried the pecan, hot debate on how that's said, and it is really good. It's sweet. So if you are not a super sweet gal, definitely lessen the pumps. And I opted to get whole milk over oat milk because I don't love oat milk. And it is phenomenal. Absolutely love it. Quick sip there. Okay. My dog is currently getting groomed in a van out front. One of my dogs, I should say. And the other one is getting fixed today. So we have a lot going on. We are the day before school starts, and the level of productivity your girl is about to get into when I have 5 full days of 6 to 7 hours of just time to myself is about to be insane, because this summer has been phenomenal, but also has tested me as a mom, having my daughter home with me 24/7 as a very, Mom, look at this. Look what I can do. Hey, can I have this snack? Can I have this? We have taken snack bitch to a whole new level after this summer. And we also dealt with a very real growth spurt. And so we were just in all of the deep end, it felt like. But I say this now, but I am also getting myself into all of the activities that come with the school year. I am on the PTO committee. We are going to chalk the sidewalk this evening, and I am really just looking forward to all of those events. But girlfriend is starting back up with gymnastics, trying dance for the first time, and doing a religious prep program once a week. And we are also getting back into soccer, and then we are continuing swim lessons because she's progressing really well. So we are about to be booked and busy, but we love that because we are type A routine queens, and the consistency is something we thrive on. So, okay. Now to get into the episode today. How do you know when it's time to let go of someone in your life? This can be a friendship, a relationship, a dynamic that used to feel life-giving, but now just kind of feels heavy. And I want to say this right away. This isn't an episode about cutting people off. This is not about cancel culture or ghosting people when things get hard. This is about those slow, painful soul level shifts, the ones that kind of sneak up on you. The ones that make you question everything, the ones that hurt even when they're the right thing to do. I want to share a story of my own. There was someone that I had been very close to. We had a lot of great times, laughed together, cried together, walked through so many different seasons of life side by side. She knew so much about me, and I knew so much about her. But over time, things shifted. Not in a dramatic, something big, like life altering kind of way. It was subtle. I started noticing that I felt tense before seeing this person, like I had to brace myself for something, a comment, a comparison, a kind of energy that just made me question who I was. And still, I tried to hold on. Because how do you let go of someone who feels so tied to your past? The truth is, I didn't like who I was around this person anymore. I felt smaller, duller, like I had to perform or shrink or almost edit myself to be accepted by them. And that realization was heartbreaking for me. Letting go doesn't just mean losing the person. It oftentimes means letting go of the version of yourself that existed in that relationship or friendship. It means grieving the memories, the potential, the comfort of what's familiar. And if you're like me, you might overthink it. You might be asking yourself, am I being too sensitive? Am I the problem? Should I just try harder to fix this? We almost gaslight ourselves out of our own intuition because we don't want to be the one who gives up. Especially as a woman, we are trained to be nurturing, forgiving, and understanding, even when it's to our own detriment. But at some point, you have to choose peace over performance, presence over pressure. You have to choose yourself over the version of you someone else wants you to be. Let's talk through this slowly, because this isn't about looking for flaws in people or ditching relationships that might go through hard seasons. This is about patterns that tell you that your spirit might be asking for something different. Here are a few signs that helped me personally realize it was time to release. I felt anxious or heavy before spending time with this person, not once, but often. I felt emotionally drained after conversations with them. I found myself rehearsing what I was going to say so that I wouldn't be judged or misunderstood. I noticed that I was always the one reaching out, and it was rarely ever reciprocated. I didn't feel fully safe being myself or being honest around them anymore. I had tried to talk about how I would feel and nothing would change. And I would leave conversations with them questioning myself instead of feeling supported. Even just one or two of these things over time can wear on you. It's like emotional erosion, little bits of your energy being chipped away until you realize that you're an actual different version of yourself altogether in their presence, and not in a good way. Why do we hold on when we know it's time? This part is so real. Even when we know something isn't working, we still hesitate. We have a fear of hurting someone, especially when you do still love them or have love for them. We have a fear of being the bad guy. You don't want to be the one who walked away, right? We have a fear of being alone. The unknown can feel scarier than the uncomfortable in some circumstances. Then we have the nostalgia that we're holding on to. You keep looking back at the good times that you had and convincing yourself that they're still true now and they still could be true again. And then you've got the hope that maybe if you just tried harder, it'll go back to how it was. And then there's the guilt that comes from not being loyal or kind enough to stay. But here's what I want you to hear. There's a difference between giving up on someone and honoring what you need. And self-abandonment is never the price you should pay for connection. So what does this letting go actually look like? Not every friendship or relationship has to end with a breakup conversation. Sometimes it's just a slow fade. Sometimes it's a boundary that gets honored quietly. Sometimes it's a hard conversation that feels like ripping off a Band-Aid. There's no one way to do this, but here are a few ways I've learned to navigate it with love. Start with a journal entry. Write honestly, no editing, no sugarcoating. This helps you get really clear on what you want. And I want you to ask yourself, what would I tell my son or daughter or my best friend if they felt this way? Decide what peace looks like for you. Not revenge, not resentment, just peace. Give yourself the space and the permission to grieve, even if it was your choice to set the boundary, to walk away from this relationship. You're going to grieve. There is going to be a period of time where you question if you've made the right decision. Offer closure, even if it's just to yourself. You don't need their permission to move forward. The only person you owe an explanation to is you. And if you do have a conversation, let it come from compassion, not blame. Focus on your feelings, your growth, and your needs. Not everything has to end in conflict. So, what happens after you let go? It might feel quiet for a while, maybe even lonely or confusing. You might second guess yourself. You might even miss them. You might be tempted to reach back out. That's all very normal. But I want you to trust yourself. You're not just walking away from a relationship. You're walking toward a version of you that feels free, that feels whole, that isn't twisting herself into someone else's mold. If you're in the middle of this, sitting with the ache, the uncertainty, the guilt, I want you to know today that you are not alone. You're not cold. You're not mean. You're not selfish. You're human. You're growing. And you're allowed to protect your energy, even if it disappoints someone else in the long run. Thank you for sitting with me through this one, friend. If this episode stirred something in you, I hope you'll give yourself the space to process it. Journal, cry, text a trusted friend, or just sit in silence and listen to what your heart has to say. If this episode spoke to you, feel free to share it with someone who might be carrying something similar. We heal better when we don't do it alone. Next week, we're diving into what a 6-month reset looks like when you're realigning from burnout. This isn't going to be a 75 hard-esque type of reset. This isn't going to be an overhaul of your entire life. It's going to be how you can gently put the building blocks back in place to become you again. Take care of your heart, let go with love, and keep living simple and well. Bye for now, friends.